So one of the reasons was I had a new message pop up and I was really looking through what messages I'd had and stuff, and then the post came and I'd ordered this ages ago. It was a sample of a Barocca Boost energy thing, which just made me laugh because I'm fighting off a flare-up starting at the moment. That came up, and then this. How many more signs could I possibly need to make a video? So, here I am making a video. Just going to give you a quick rundown on some of the coping mechanisms that I have for this kind of time where I'm not quite in a flare-up yet, but if I'm not careful, I can definitely feel one coming into town for a visit. So I'm just doing my best to hold it off. So I'm going to start off with food because I'm in the kitchen. Good logic. Something I would recommend is, I know full well that when my spoons are running low, I do not want to cook, and if I'm really bad and a flare-up has started, I don't even want to eat. So one of the options that I have is that I found these ready meal things that are gluten-free and milk-free as well, if any of you are into all that or need that. But they're really yummy. This is the beef and black bean sauce, and I kid you not, I could just eat the whole thing to myself quite happily. There's no preparation whatsoever. You literally microwave it for 3 minutes and you've got a hot meal straight away. So if you do fancy food, like a full meal, then I recommend pouches like this. And I can't believe these words are actually leaving my mouth, because there was a time where I would just not eat prepared food that was all ready to go and all stuff like that. I tested it. Whereas now, I'm stocked up on these bad boys. So if you're at a point where you can still eat a full meal or still fancy one, highly recommend ready-made food pouches. And for me, obviously being gluten-free, these are my options. And they've got a really good range as well. It's not just 1 or 2 dinners. They've got loads of different ones, so you can really change it up, which is great if your flare-up is lasting more than just a few days. You've got a good few options to keep you going there. If you don't quite want a full meal, the same guys actually do like a pot noodle, which again is something I never thought I would be a fan of, because I went through the whole student phase of living off pot noodles, and then I kind of overdid it and hated them and thought they were devil's food, and I'm back again. So what that says about my life cycle, I'm not sure, but cool. And these are awesome. You literally just put boiling water up to the line, leave it for 4 minutes, and you've got a quick meal. And they're really nice, and it comes with all the spices and flavours and stuff, and there's loads of it as well, so pretty good if you don't quite fancy a full meal but you want something. So there's this. My next option then, if that still seems like too big a meal, which I know some people think sounds ridiculous, but there are days that just looks huge. You can then go for something like this, which is, again, a nice healthy option, and it's got tuna, pasta, and all sorts of things in. This one is actually thumpers, because I can't have the ones with pasta in, obviously, because I've gone gluten-free. But there is like a Mexican bean one, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's like tuna, red kidney beans, sweet corn, carrot, pepper. So yummy. And you literally just peel the lid off, and that's it. You don't have to warm it, you just eat it as it is. And the dates on them are ridiculous. So this is dated June 2018. So you can pretty much stock these up, and then you know full well that if you really cannot be bothered to do anything, but you need food, or you fancy just a bit of food, there's this, and they're really yummy generally. If you shop at places like Aldi and Lidl do their own version of this, and I would go as far as saying I prefer the Lidl one. It's cheaper, and I swear you get like a whole tin of tuna in each one. It's ridiculous. So yeah, there's that. I've actually run out of my normal protein shakes that I have. If food is just an absolute no-no. So it's really easy to prep. I don't actually have any, so I can't show you, otherwise I'd make one and have it right now, but I don't have any, I don't think. No, I'm pretty much out of them. So just get your blender. All you have to do is you add a certain amount of milk or water if you can't drink milk or you don't drink it. Blend it up and that's it. And it's literally got all the proteins you need and vitamins and everything, but you don't have to sit and physically eat something. So I do have them quite often. I do kind of live off them at stages. So yeah, that is something that I will have quite often, clearly, as I've run out. So that is my food-based advice for fatigue. In terms of cooking, you literally just have to get those around you involved. If you don't feel up to cooking a dinner and you've got the option of having help to prepare something, ask for it. It's as simple as that. This is something that's going to pop up a lot through this video, because I'd go as far as saying it's its whole own category. It's its own category completely, so we'll come back to that. Cool. So the next category I would go for is films and books. Now this could sound really quite odd, because I find that in a way you have to be prepared for a flare up. This isn't the kind of stuff you can just gather up on the day. And I'd almost go as far as saying it's my fibromyalgia survival kit, flare-up survival kit, because I have these things around and set up everywhere, which sounds ridiculous. However, on days like today, when I don't have to go rooting for stuff and I just know where the stuff is, it's really quite handy. So when you are having your better days, I would seriously recommend setting up a comfort box. Now, I'm a little bit torn on the film side of things because one of the very common things to be said is, oh, you must just spend all your time watching telly and watching TV. Like, no, not true. And for me to now be saying this, it's kind of like I feel like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. What I mean is if you have a flare-up, you cannot predict if it's going to be a one-dayer, a weeker, a 2-weeker. These things can last for ages, and we have no prediction as to how long they are going to last. So yeah, I'm going to have stuff prepared for when I can't move for a week and a half. I'm not just going to lie there for a week and a half doing nothing. So DVDs and TV series and stuff, collect them, collect series of them. I myself have Netflix, Thumper has Amazon Prime, we have a Kodi box, and so that's an option. But before we had all these things, I used to buy like a full series. So if there was 4 series to something, I would pick up all 4. And the reason being is that if I'm okay for a day, if I'm having a bad day for like a day or 2, I can watch 1 or 2 episodes, and if not, and it's lasting 2 weeks, I can watch the entire series, and it's something to do. You don't necessarily take it all in, which means you have to re-watch a lot of the things. So definitely build up a collection of things that make you feel happy. Sometimes you just need a damn good cry, and that is the honest truth. Like, I'm a very empathetic person, and sometimes if I haven't cried for a while because I haven't had a reason to, it's almost like the level of the tear tank gets too full and I just have to release it. So I have stuff that makes me laugh, stuff that makes me cry, stuff that makes me think, a whole range of things. So definitely build up a collection that is just you, just for you, not for everyone else. Keep it together in a section so again you know where it is when you can barely move. You don't have to go rooting through 1,000 DVDs like I normally had to do before I organised myself. Another thing is the books. So not only is it books, I also read comics because I'm just that kind of cool kid. New author I am seriously in love with is Ransom Riggs. He is the guy that wrote Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Now, my interest only stemmed from this because of my love of films. See where I'm going with this? So Tim Burton has recently directed the new film, and if there is a book that's been turned into a film, I would much rather read it first. So I read his book, and I read it in about 2.5 days because I was having a good day. And yeah, I'm halfway through the second book. In fact, I've probably nearly finished the second book. So and like I say, it ranges again with the books because I don't know what kind of mood my brain's going to be in and how simple or how complex I can deal with. So what to make of Filigree Street, new one, pretty good, bit more time travel-y, serious type book. Good old classics, folk tales. Folk tales? What happened to my voice there? I've been abducted by some demon. Folk tales. Again, I just have a whole collection, and then it stems into comic books. So when I go shopping for these things, like I say, I will quite often binge buy them in one go. So I don't do it often, but when I do, there's quite a big collection comes home with me. Pure and simple reason is I buy stuff that I can read there and then, no problem. But I also like this one I bought about 6 months ago. I'm reading it this week because I'm not feeling great. So I need something to read. So I like to buy myself stuff and keep it in so that it's not stuff that I've read before. Little bit of a surprise for myself. The next category I would say is comfort blankets and pillows and pyjamas. I'm going to mash them all into one section. I'm not going to bother chasing around the house to collect all this stuff because I don't really see the point in that. We all know what a blanket is. We all know what pyjamas are. So my pyjama range is quite ridiculous. I would say I have a bigger pyjama range than I do clothes range. I have a lot of clothes, but I seem to have a lot more pyjamas than your average person. Main reason being, and Thumper always laughs about it, but she's realised there is a method to my madness. Again, it is like my little survival kit. So I know personally that if I have a flare-up, it's not the same every single time. So I sometimes have flare-ups where I cannot physically warm myself up at all, or I cannot cool myself down. There's different ranges on where I am. So my pyjamas literally range from like shorts to thin legging type things to comfy lounger pants and to really fluffy warm bottoms. Same as vest tops, t-shirt, long sleeve shirt, fluffy tops. So I can literally combine it because some days if my body's doing one of those flare-ups where it really can't make its mind up, which is great fun. So as soon as my body starts heating up again, I can take the jumper off and we're good. We're back level where we need it to be. So yeah, pyjamas, definitely just get yourself anything because the last thing you need to be doing is trying to get your clothes comfortable as well as your body because, let's face it, it's probably not going to happen. Simple as. Another suggestion that I would make for your flare-up survival and fatigue survival is tell the people around you honestly how you are, because I know certainly when I was first off ill, I'd just kind of brush it off and I didn't really want to tell anyone that I was feeling bad because I just felt like a pain telling them that I felt bad. But at the end of the day, if someone truly knows you, they know you're lying anyway. So it's a complete waste of energy and a complete waste of time. Just be honest about it. At the end of the day, it's not self-inflicted. You can't help that your body is being an asshole. It's the only way I can think of to put it. So yeah, just be honest with people, because I know that when I don't feel great, Thumper will sort of say, do you want me to make you anything now? Or do you want me to fetch you anything upstairs? If she knows full well that I will not make it downstairs that day. And she'll do dinner and whichever, or her dad will cook dinner. And I think if you weren't honestly open and truthful about what state you are actually in, you don't get that kind of level of support. So that is certainly another category that I would recommend. So for the next bit, we need to go upstairs. So I take you to my bathroom. These things on a day where I feel crap don't happen. Okay, so now we're in the bathroom and I have several things that really help. I have a bath step, I need to show you it, which Thumper made, and this thing is an absolute lifesaver, along with my bath seat. So you're probably wondering what in the heck they're for. Well, probably not, it's pretty simple. Bath seat, bath step, nailed it. But something that I do a lot, if I am having a flare up, Thumper will have to help me get in and out of the bath. However, having an Epsom salt bath is incredible. So, ooh, you can see me now. So I just have this little tub that I keep in the bathroom. However, in the spare room, I have a whole collection of stuff. This is actually a mixture of Epsom salt and Himalayan pink rock salt. So what I will do is I will run a bubble bath, nice and hot. I like to call them lobster baths because I have them considerably hotter than what Thumper has, and she thinks it's ridiculously hot, whereas I just quite happily melt into it. So yeah, put a mixture of this bad boy in the bath and it makes huge differences. The other thing that I would also add to the bath is Olbus bath oil, but you have to be sparing with it because obviously it's menthol and it gets really tingly and it can become unpleasant if you tip too much in. So a little bit of a learning process, but I now don't live without this stuff. And little extra bonus tip for you, non-flare-up related, I actually use this stuff in the shower as well, because I don't know if you have a similar thing, but certainly I do. When I shower, the water tapping on me makes me like it's seriously itchy, and it also feels as though I've got things crawling on me, and it makes it just a very unpleasant experience after I've had my bath or after I've had my shower. However, I've found mixing just a little drop of this on my sponge before I actually put my soap or whatever on actually stops the tingling completely. Because it's menthol and it makes your skin go all tingly, you don't notice the water splashing on you quite so much, and I don't know whether it's just my brain being tricked or there's some other scientific explanation as to why this works, but seriously, go for it, try it. If it doesn't work, fair enough, but for me, it's ridiculous. It's made a massive difference. It means I can have a shower and not feel uncomfortable. So, bonus. Bonus fact. Other than that, I think that's literally everything I can say. My final bit of advice for dealing with fatigue and flare-ups is just do what's best for you, because you can spend all your time trying to convince everyone that you're okay and that it's not as bad as it looks and all this, and who's it making feel better? No one, because they know you're lying, you know you're lying, and it just doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, I would just seriously recommend just be honest, tell people around you like, no, I haven't done this, and no, I can't do that because I need to rest. At the end of the day, our bodies, if you've got fibromyalgia, don't replenish as like normal bodies do. So if someone gets a cold, they can kind of fight it off within a certain amount of time and things will be back to normal after their cold. It's fine. If we get a cold, it takes us twice as long, at least, to get over the cold itself. And then you're looking at for me personally, you're looking at like a month of serious good eating, serious good looking after yourself to make yourself back to where you were before that. And even that level of my good is basically like Thumper's post-cold condition. So when it comes to looking after yourself, just do what is best for you, because there is no other option than just doing what's right for you, because otherwise you're just going to get worse and worse and worse, and the flare-ups
never gonna go. So that's the only bit of truthful, honest advice I can give you from the bottom of my heart. I just want to say thank you for like getting in touch and giving me the idea for the fatigue video, which was awesome, and I hope it's been helpful. But yeah, if you've got any comments or you've got any things that you do yourself at home, get in touch, comments down below, and I'd love to know, because if there's any other things out there I can try to go into my little survival kit, I'm game. So yeah, thank you very much guys, thanks for watching, and I promise, I will be back soon. I'm back on it. So yes, when I say I'll be back soon, I mean it this time. I'm doing it. I've got everything set up. So thanks for watching guys. See you again soon. Bye.
Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to say what shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, 'cause they'll get